Hi, everybody. So, welcome to English 100, Section 395, Critical Reading and Writing 1. I am your instructor. My name is Justine Jenny, and you can just call me Justine. That's fine with me. So, this is the high school accelerated course of English 100. So, by the time you get complete this course, you'll have an English 100 credit for your university and high school transcript. And just a little bit about this class. So this is an asynchronous class that's online. So that just means basically there's no mandatory times where you have to log in through Zoom and meet as a class. It's more asynchronous, meaning there's no set times where you have to log in. So all of the lecture content has been recorded by myself or another instructor, and it's been posted to the course homepage. So it's up to you to log in regularly during the week to make sure that you're watching the videos, the lecture videos, that you're doing the readings, and you're keeping up on any assigned coursework. So it's really about, responsibility, time management, and being organized to do well in this class. Some technical requirements. So we will culminate this class with an online exam, final exam. So you will need a computer with a camera. And a camera is also good to have just in case you want to do like a one-on-one meeting with me at some point to get, some feedback on an essay or something like that. So your technical requirements, again, you need a computer. We use word processors like Microsoft Word or PDF to submit our coursework. So I'll maybe walk you through a little bit just on the course homepage of how to upload an assignment in this video. But other than that, you can get a hold of me through the course homepage and there's an email on there as well as my email that you can see here. So either way, I will answer your emails either through the course homepage or if you send me a URegina email through your URegina account. And then other than that, on the course homepage, I'll have office hours where I'll log in and you can do a live chat with me if you want. But that's completely not mandatory. So if you have time and you're available on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 and you have a question for me, you can log in to their office hours and ask your question, but it's not mandatory. So it's only if you have sort of a question that needs answering. The other best way to get a hold of me is just by emailing me through the course homepage or through my email there. So just a little bit of background about me. I'm going to get you guys to also add your introductions so I get to know you a little bit, but just about me. So like I said, my name is Justine Jenny. I've been an English instructor at the University of Regina for almost 15 years now. And I have a PhD in English from the University of Saskatchewan. And I did my undergraduate degree from University of Regina. I'm originally from Regina and now I live in Saskatoon. So we may or may not get a chance to meet face to face, but there is an event happening in March at the English department and I plan to go down for that. So you guys will all be invited to that little conference as well. So hopefully we get a chance to meet in person at some point during the semester. That'd be nice. And then if we don't, we'll meet over Zoom during the final exam. And other things about me. So I do have hobbies outside of, reading. That's one of my hobbies too, though. But reading and writing are obviously my professional life. But outside of that, I have, pets. I have a dog, a greyhound, 2 cats. I like gardening, swimming, painting, all of those kinds of things. My favorite book of all time is probably Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And I would recommend all students, especially undergraduate students, to read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein at some point in their, academic journey. I just think it's like a really impactful and important story to learn. And then right now I just like reading fun memoirs in my own time. So I'm reading a biography about a comedian and it's quite funny. So She was a Molly Shannon from SNL back in the day. And I'm rereading a book called The Wars by Timothy Finley because I do teach a class about military masculinity when I'm not teaching English 100. So that one's kind of fitting into my other interests. But yeah, for yourselves, make sure you add to the introductory forum on the course homepage. Tell me a little bit about you, your name, obviously. Do you have career goals or academic goals that you're looking forward to starting in university or elsewhere? What are your hobbies and interests outside of school? Or do you do any intramurals in school? Do you have a favorite book, favorite TV series, a favorite film, favorite YouTuber, whatever it is that you watch? What media is your favorite? Or have you had something recently that you read or watched that you really enjoyed that you would want to make a recommendation to others to watch or read? That would be great. And then in the forum, if you want to if there's any other information you want to share about yourself, do you have a dog? Do you have a cat? That kind of thing. Or where you're from, where you were born, any information that you want to share with myself and the rest of the class. That's what this introductory forum is all about. If you have any private things you need to share with me, you can send that by email. So don't put everything in the forum or any information that you want to be kept private. That's more appropriate for an email to me if you need to share something like that. But yeah, let's take a look at the course homepage and maybe a little bit closer at the syllabus. Okay, so once you're in the class, you will know that you have to access UR courses, and you'll select our course homepage. So on this course homepage, this is where all of the lecture videos will be. This is where all of the readings will be. You don't have to buy any books for this class, which is kind of nice. Everything is going to be linked to on the course homepage. So all of our readings, all of the poems and short stories and everything will be provided to you and linked to there. So there's just some information here, basic information. The course email, when I say course email, I just mean this course email on the course homepage. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. So you can open up the course email, start a new message, add recipient. You could say your instructor, or you could look up Justine Jenny and add me there. And then it's just like a normal email. You would add your subject, question, add your response. Hi, Justine, blah, blah, blah. And then if you ever wanted to share a file with me, this is sort of a drag and drop box. So you could just drop a file in there and share that with me that way, and then press send. So it's a good, just if you need to share anything with me, like a essay draft or something like that, or if you have any questions, feel free to use this course email. Up at the top here, you'll see these little icons as well. This messenger one I often use as well. If I have just a short, quick message to give to a student, you can use that to send me a question or something like that as well. So this is more just like a messenger, not a full email. But both ways are perfectly fine to get a hold of me. So you can read through the course description here, but I'll just sort of walk you through some info on here. So these I don't usually use all that often. We have our course email, but our course Zoom. This is the Zoom that I would just use for office hours, but like I said, there's no mandatory Zoom times where you have to log in. This is mostly just an optional office hours where I'll log in, and if anybody has any question, they can pop in during office hours, ask their question, and then they can just leave the meeting. So it's kind of just another way to get a question asked and answer quickly. Under essays and assignments, this is now hidden from you guys, but it'll be visible. You'll have instructions for each writing assignment. And this is actually where you're going to turn in your assignment. So this is how you submit your essays. So you'll write your essay either as a Word document, so if you have Microsoft Word on your computer, or if you have access to like Microsoft 365. If you use like a Google Doc, you'll have to download a copy of the doc as either a PDF or a Word document in order to upload it into this Turnitin app. So you won't be able to just share the link to the Google Doc. It needs to be a copy that you've downloaded and then uploaded into this portal. So if I click on this, it'll give you, again, the description of essay 1, what I'm looking for. And this one's going to be all about writing an essay about one of the short stories, one or more. It says pick 2, so I'm asking you for discussing 2 different short stories in your essay. And these are the ones that we're going to read. And then you're going to pick one of these questions and then write your essay on one of these 5 topics. And then once you've completed your essay, you'll scroll down here, find your name, and then there should be a little option. It might not show it right here, but there'll be a little cloud icon. I can't see it because I'm not one of the students enrolled here, but there'll be a little cloud icon with a little arrow. And then you'll click on that icon and it'll just sort of walk you through the process of uploading your paper. Eventually, this Turnitin gives a similarity rating. So once you've uploaded your paper, Turnitin measures the similarity between the paper you've uploaded and all other online essays and articles or whatever, every information on the internet. It measures a similarity rating. And if you see a number here, it might be 15%. That's not your grade. That's just the similarity of the rating between what you've written and online sources. And depending on how many quotations or how many references you have in your paper, the similarity rating will go higher. And that's not a bad thing. It's expected for you to have quotations in your writing. So there should be a similarity rating. It shouldn't be 0. It should be something other than 0, because you do have quotes in there and you should have a citation for the story. So those are going to make your similarity rating higher than 0. And if it was like really high, like if it was 75% similarity, then I would maybe say, okay, there's something going on with the student's paper. And I could click on your paper and I would see a lot of highlighting, which is telling me the highlighting parts are what's similar to other papers. So you can check your own paper and see the similarity rating. This is visible to you. And if it's showing a lot of highlights that are not referenced properly or not being put in quotation marks and cited, then it's going to be a little bit of a problem, and we'll have to make sure that you understand how or what you're doing so you're properly citing and quoting from those texts that you're similar to. But in most cases, what you have as similarity, as long as it's quoted and cited properly in your paper, it's not a problem at all. So I think students sometimes react to this number and think that that's their mark or that that's something bad, but it's a good thing to have some similarity for an essay, because you want there to be quotations and evidence included in it. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Or if you have any problems uploading, let me know. It's pretty straightforward, but it's going to be like a drag and drop situation where you'll upload a paper on your desktop into the portal. Okay, so back to the main page here. You'll have each lesson or topic. This is sort of content that we give you to go through each week of the course. And there's sort of 2 topics or 2 classes per week that you're responsible for covering. So it does say first day. So our first day, you should go through these materials, including the syllabus. And there's going to be a literary key terms handout that has a bunch of definitions on it. So you can go through these course modules and take a look at those. We also have the introductory form that you'll be able to add your description of yourself in. So make sure you add to that. And then there's going to be an optional crossword puzzle that will help you review some of these key terms of literature. So that one's optional, but again, if you do it, great. And then week 1, we're still in week 1, so you'll have a brief description of what this week's class will be about, a link to the reading. So this is a link to the short story you're going to be reading. So under readings will be what you have to read. And then under lectures and modules will be the actual lectures that you'll have to watch. So you'll notice they're timed here. So this one's 15 minutes, this one's 10, this one's 25. They're sort of broken apart like that. So you can go through when you have time during that day. And I would, devote 2 days a week for each class. So say Tuesdays and Thursdays, make sure you're logging in and going through the class content. Or if Mondays and Wednesdays work better for you. But it's going to be a sort of around, I would say, an hour and a half per class max. That would take you to do the reading and the lecture content. The reading may or may not take you longer than those 3 hours of lecture content, depending on how fast you are as a reader. But you might want to, read the story earlier in the day or in the evening when you have some time, and then watch the lecture videos the next day or something like that. Usually you would do the reading first and then watch the lecture videos. There's lectures on the short stories. There's lectures on composition as well. So these ones are going to be more about essay writing, that kind of technical stuff about writing. And then some of the videos are more so about analyzing the stories that we'll be reading. So it kind of just depends on what we cover that topic for that class. So this is on to week 2. So again, you'll have a story to read. In this case, it's James Joyce's Araby, which is linked to here. There's also a little grammar lesson that you can read through as well. And then under here is going to be your lecture videos for this class. So every week you have 2. So week 2 you have a class for Feb 11th and Feb 13th to go through. But you kind of decide, what days. If Feb 13th is not a good day for you, do it on the 14th. So it's kind of up to you to go to cover, to do the readings and to go through the materials. So yeah, that's basically how we'll go through it. I'll make sure that every week I'll just send a little email at the start of the week, just making sure that you're up to date on anything that you need to do for that week, if there's any other assignments or anything like that, and just a kind of, motivational tool to send you an email reminder at the start of the week what you guys should be doing. But really it's self-guided, so you guys are in charge of your own progress through the course materials here. So if you have any questions about the course layout or course content, let me know. But that's basically all you need for this course homepage. But like I said, if you have an email or question, just send me an email or message through this course homepage. I'll also recommend that students read through the syllabus. So this is our syllabus. So just make sure you download it. It's on the first day class, and it's linked to there. But make sure you read the syllabus. It's got a lot of information in there. It tells you about the course, what our objectives are, what your responsibilities are. And I've highlighted a couple things here. So there's going to be 3 major writing assignments. So basically 3 essays. And then there's going to be a final exam. So you have to submit all 3 essays and write the final exam and pass the final exam to pass the course. If you are needing more time for an assignment, for example, if you have a basketball tournament or something one weekend and that's the same weekend when the assignment is due, you can just email me and say, hey, Justine, I think I need an extra day, an extra 2 days, an extra week in order to get my assignment in. And that's fine. I'll give you that week. There's no late penalty if you ask for an extension. Just make sure that you ask for the extension before the due date. Otherwise, the due date will pass and I won't have anything from you and I haven't heard from you. That's when I start saying, well, this student is late and he's or she is not talking to me, so I have no idea what's going on. So that's when you get a late penalty. Other than that, you may have questions about AI for this class. So we don't want students to use AI like ChatGPT. It's considered cheating or academic misconduct because it's not a representation of your own writing or your own thoughts. We want you to bring in your own thoughts. We want you to, get better at writing. So we want you to do it yourself. If you were going to use AI, it would just, the only thing that would be allowed would be sort of generating a outline or something like that, but you can't take anything from the outline and put it directly into your essay. Otherwise, it's going to get flagged as AI, and then that causes a whole investigation, academic investigation. So to avoid that, just make sure that your writing is a reflection of your own work and not a computer generated writing. And I'll also warn you that if you do have like a Grammarly Plus or Copilot on your computer, try not to use the paraphrasing tool that rewrites your sentences for you, because that could also be flagged in Turnitin. And if your paper gets uploaded and it's flagged, I'll see the flag and I'll usually email you and just let you know that that's the case, that your paper has been flagged. And you can offer an explanation, but in most cases, I'll just send the paper to the academic office. The Arts Academic Integrity Team does an investigation, and they are the ones that decide whether there's a penalty or not. And it's an ongoing issue with universities and essays these days. So, it's not the end of the world if your paper is flagged, but at the same time, it's sort of, you do have to take responsibility and make sure that you're keeping track of your writing, what apps you're using. So if you do end up using any apps, make sure you write those out and make sure you have a list of ones that you have used. What sources, what websites you've been using, because sometimes some websites have auto-generated writing in them, and if you take information from them and put them in your essay, it's going to get flagged. So things like that. It's an evolving topic, but it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, you do need to be sort of careful and consider where it is you're getting your information from and whether the writing in your paper is a accurate representation of your own writing and ideas. But we'll cover how to cite properly, how to reference using MLA style. So these things are going to help you avoid any academic misconduct in your writing. And a big part of that is just learning how to cite, learning how to put things in quotations, and learning what to put in brackets after the quote that tells us what source that information came from. So other than that, read the syllabus. It has a breakdown of all of our assignments when they're due. So you'll want to write these dates down in, your calendars, the percentage of them, the length of them. So we're going to have 3 major writing assignments and then weekly, not really weekly quizzes, but there's going to be 5 quizzes in total. So it's almost weekly, but not quite. They're worth 4% each, and there's 5 in total, so a total of 20%. And these are multiple choice questions. They're really short quizzes. There's around 10 questions. You have maybe 12 minutes, I think, to write the quiz, and it's just sort of picking the right answers. And it's pretty basic questions, so as long as you've read the poem or the short story, you should easily be able to answer the quiz questions correctly. And then our first one's going to be Feb 24th. So that'll be on the course homepage, and I'll send out a reminder once that quiz is open for you. But I'll make it open a couple days, and you'll have until Feb 4 or 24th to submit it. And then our final exam information is here as well. So our online invigilated final exam will be over Zoom, and it's going to be scheduled Thursday, May 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. So just make sure you take that day off work, and that's going to be an important day where we write our final exam, and it's usually multiple choice questions and an essay question. It's a 3-hour exam, so you have quite a lot of time to answer your questions, and it's going to be worth 30 marks though, so it's quite, a large part of your overall mark. And then, yeah, the syllabus just goes through the course schedule a little bit more in detail here. So every week you can make note of the content that you have to go through, when your quizzes are, when your assignments are due, that kind of thing. So just make sure you read through the syllabus. At the very end, there's just a description of the grading standards for English 100. I know some students are a little disappointed when they get their first marks back for their essays and it's, lower than they wanted. It is rare to get, 90s and even 85 up in an English class. That class average is often around 70% or even 68 in some classes, but you guys are a smart group, so I fully assume that you guys will be, getting high 70s, low 80s, and doing really well in the class. And that's a high average for an English 100 class. Some of you may even be scoring high 80s and getting over 90 on your quizzes. So again, there's little ways that you can boost your mark and get an A or A+ in the class. And then the rubric is also attached at the bottom of the syllabus. So if you are interested in how your mark will break down for essays, there's that content, or how we evaluate your essays is linked to here. So, things like your thesis statement, your use of evidence, all of that kind of information is what we're going to be looking for. But I want to wrap up. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody a little bit. If you have any questions about the class, reach out to me via course homepage or Messenger. Or email. So anyway, I hope we'll have a good semester, and I'm looking forward to teaching you guys